Where are the dollars? Emir Sanusi blasts Tinubu. Take a look at this.
And we cannot afford to continue producing the oil and not seeing the revenue. We are no longer paying subsidies. So where are the dollars? Before it was under recovery. Now we don't have under recovery. Where is the money?
They told us that subsidy has been removed, but they didn't tell us where they are channeling the money that was meant for subsidy. What kind of people are these? The only thing we've been seeing lately is on how the Nigerian people's money are being spent. I mean, take a look at this. President Tinubu budgets 10 billion to renovate Gbajabiamila's official residence, 570 million for travel. Nigeria spends about 3 billion to send government officials to COP28. State House budgets 9.5 billion for tires of bulletproof cars, SUVs, others. Wike spends 4 billion to renovate official residence, surpassing the initially budgeted amount of 150 million naira. Anti-graft agency EFCC presents 76 billion naira budget to National Assembly, including 4 billion naira on travels. Tinubu government to spend 1.5 billion on official vehicles for First Lady amid rising poverty. President Tinubu Shetima to spend 10 billion on trips in 2024, 200 million naira to feed Aso Rock animals. Femi Gbajabiamila gets 10 billion to renovate official residence, 10.1 billion for computer software. So this person tries to itemize them, and he says Shetima's new house 20.5 billion, 15 billion for a new house, 2.5 billion renovation of house in FCT, 3 billion renovation of house in Lagos. Femi Gbajabiamila shares 20.1 billion, 10 billion to renovate house, 10.1 billion for computer software. Senators to share 57 billion to buy new SUVs. EFCC 76 billion. The intimidation job ahead. Judiciary shares 35 billion for a job well done. First Lady shares 6.5 billion, 1.5 billion to get official vehicles, and the list goes on. You can see down there it says 5 billion for renovation of First Lady's office. So Nigerians, the only thing we've been seeing from this government is just the sharing formula. Nobody is talking about production. Nobody is talking about keeping Nigerians busy so that we can generate more revenue. And you can see the emir is asking, where is the money that we are generating as a result of subsidy being removed? Where is the money? Where are they keeping all the money they told Nigerians that we are going to make should we remove the fuel subsidy? That is what the emir, the former emir of Kano, is asking. Nigerians, don't keep quiet. This country is already placed on sale. I mean, this politician, you can see that they are not having any plan for the Nigerian people. They don't have any plan. So let me allow you just finish watching this video. Watch this video to the end and listen to the reaction of the analyst that was on this platform, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below.
And we cannot afford to continue producing the oil and not seeing the revenue. We are no longer paying subsidies. So where are the dollars? Before it was under recovery. Now we don't have under recovery. Where is the money? It was the issue I raised for which I was suspended. You can suspend me again. Okay? But it is an issue that this country must address. NNPC is the most opaque oil company in the world. When I was in the central bank for 15 years, they had not been audited. We paid 11 trillion naira in fuel subsidy. There's no accountability up to now. The National Assembly called NNPC to bring the documents. They refused. And by the way, let me advise that this idea of the president being petroleum minister is not a good idea. The last president was Minister of Petroleum for 8 years. When I was governor of Central Bank, we had a petroleum minister. So when I talked about NNPC, I could attack Dizani. Now nobody can talk about petroleum because 8 years, if you talk, you're attacking the president. We need that buffer. Somebody has to be there. So a minister has to be there who is held accountable by Nigerians.
Let's bring in Arise analyst and lawyer Frank Tete. Frank, interesting times are here. Thank you for joining us at Newsnight.
My pleasure.
Right. Let's look at the appointment, the board appointment of the NNPCL. Speak to us about your assessment of the composition.
You know, first it must be established it is the presidential responsibility under the Petroleum Industry Act, specifically under Section 59. It is the power, the president has the power to make all appointments to the board of NNPCL, at least for now, because in the transition journey of the NNPC from a public-owned company to, public government-owned corporation to a public company to a fully private company, there is this period where the government still owns the entire shares, but there will come a time where there will be many other persons, Nigerians, who will become shareholders, and then you can expect the company, according to the Petroleum Industry Act, to be run according to the provisions of the Company and Allied Matters Act. But for now, it is the president that has the sole prerogative to appoint the members of the board of the NNPCL, and that the president did, the former president did with regards to Senator Ararume. The former president actually appointed him upon the incorporation of the Nigerian Petroleum Company Limited. Ararume was registered as the non-executive chairman. So that was the status quo at that time. But for political reasons, because what we are witnessing now is a contestation, is the interplay between politics and law. Here we are, the laws, the president appointed Ararume. At the same time, the Petroleum Industry Act gave grounds upon which a president who has full powers to make the appointment can only suspend or remove. So for political reasons, somehow President Buhari thought that he should withdraw the Ararume's appointment, but it was too late. Ararume had already been registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission as the non-executive director, as chairman of the NNPCL. Ararume went to court to challenge the presidential order, and the court agreed with him that indeed he should be reinstated. In fact, he remains the non-executive chairman of the NNPCL, and for embarrassing him, the government was fined 5 billion naira. So that was the point where the government decided to challenge. It was the same government of President Buhari that challenged the order. Now, the expectation in the eyes, I believe, of Ararume, who has become an APC member, probably to solve the political, estrangement, expected that the president would obey the order of the lower court. But the president did it, he ignored it, and then made a fresh appointment of a non-executive chairman, which in exercise of his powers under Section 59. So the contention is that.
Let me come in, Frank. Are you saying that despite the subsistent court order, the president still has a prerogative?
No, he doesn't. Okay. In the true sense of it, the president should be the #1 public officer, public citizen, that shows the example of obedience to our court orders. Even the orders flowing from the lowest of all courts must be obeyed. That is how you maintain order. That is how you maintain sanity in a political system and in an economic system.
So in this case,
I believe the president, under whatever advice, is actually treading a path that is dangerous for the economic stability of this country. Because without doubt, the NNPCL is about the most important, corporation or company that affects Nigerian economy or even Nigerian politics at the moment. So you don't superintend as president over a disobedience of court order. That's risky for your economy. At a time where the president is junketting across the world, asking cap in hand for foreign investors to come in, especially in our oil and gas sector, you don't tolerate any form of uncertainty. Because in this case, if you look at the law, the letter written by Ararume's lawyer, he was insinuating that, look, do not obey, do not enter any contract, any serious contract with NNPCL, because it doesn't have the proper subsisting board in it. The proper board should be the one chaired by Ararume. In that case, case, you're sending a very bad signal. And don't forget, NNPCL is supposed to be run according to the higher standard of corporate governance.
Right.
So these signals that have been sent across the world with regards to the uncertainty in NNPC, it's not in good terms at all. It does not fall in line with the renewed hope agenda of the president. So in this case, because we have a very large bureaucracy, some of these things don't actually pass through the direct, supervision of the president. That's why it's important that, we talk about these things. If not, if the president has the immense powers, he does have the powers to make the appointment. But I would have advised that, look, in this case, the president should have actually settled Ararime. And, because if he doesn't want him as chairman, there are very many ways. It doesn't have to be, yes.
Settled, how do you mean settled?
Look, let me tell you, as a practicing lawyer, even when you get to the point of litigation, the court encourages you to settle.
How do you mean settle?
Settle in the sense that amicably, that is, we should at all times reduce tension. We can't have a national institution of such importance like the NNPCL subjected to court cases because of, the non-compliance of a previous government inherited by President Tinubu. So before President Tinubu would have appointed a new chairman, he could have at least, because, settled with him. There are very many ways of dispute resolution, and international investors are very worried when you overlook non-contentious dispute resolution methods like arbitration, mediation, and others, that then you just go straight to litigation. Yeah. They are worried because in this case, look at Onoja SAN, insinuating that kind of very unsavory comment, saying that do not do business with NNPCL on a large scale or in terms of contract because it doesn't have a properly constituted board. That is not good for our country.
Interesting. I was coming to how this looks, the optics of this to the larger community. But then I also want us to quickly look at corporate governance, a lot of things to look at. But then the former CBN governors, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, said something about the NNPCL that is the most opaque oil company in the world. What do you make of that?
No, expectedly it is because of the very essence. I mean, oil and gas as an industry is actually complicated, and for a long time there's this mixture of international standard versus an obsolete petroleum act together with an overbearing political influence in that corporation. So all of that, such political interference made it quite complex, and we didn't have express petroleum regulations flowing from a minister at that time. And because of the political nature and then the high level of sleaze associated with the corrupt nature of our governance, made NNPC appear to be opaque. But if you look at the Petroleum Industry Act, challenging the NNPCL together with its board and management, and then expectedly in the future its shareholders, to operate with very high standard of corporate governance. So we should be looking forward to a very transparent NNPCL in the future. But as it is now, this is a transition period, and that's why we cannot, as a country, and particularly this goes to the president, we cannot afford too much contention regarding the management and board of the, well, in terms of management, Mele Kyari is coasting.
So guys, we all know that when it comes to rule of law, Nigeria carries last. Nigeria carries last. This is a country that doesn't want to hear the courts making any pronouncement that does not favor them. They will disobey. We saw it during the time of Buhari. It has been there right before time. But it got to a certain hike. As in, it got to a very high level when Buhari was the president of Nigeria. And we have seen it, being continued by this current administration. We all know that Tinubu told us it's going to continue from where Buhari stopped, and that is what we've seen. They don't even want to listen. Anytime the court makes any pronouncement that does not favor them, forget it. They will hardly want to obey, and they tell us that they'll be spending billions of naira going to look for investors. You are looking for investors when you've not created a conducive environment for people to come and invest. What kind of leadership style is that? Can somebody help me out? What kind of leadership style are we seeing in Nigeria among our leaders? You will end up knowing that most of these people that come out to put themselves forward for this position, especially that of the presidency, they don't understand what leadership is. Possibly the way they handled leadership years back back. They think it's still the same trend today. No, times have changed. People want to see renovations when it even comes to leadership. And you know, they are not putting that in place, especially when they know it's not going to favor their interests. That is what we are seeing. They don't want to obey rule of law. They don't want to create a business environment that will be conducive for investors, you know, to get attracted to Nigeria. That is it. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. You've seen what the Emir of Kano is saying, that where is the money, where are the dollars that you got as a result of removing subsidy? Where is the money? Where is it being channeled? Where is it being where is it being moved? Because Nigerians are not seeing it. If we are yet to see it, we want to start seeing it now. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.